Žygimantas Stankevičius today with Tegos Law Firm. You're a partner.
Yeah.
But maybe you can introduce yourself. Tegos is one thing, but also want to know you personally. What is your background?
Okay, so first of all, thanks for having me and for this opportunity to have interview. So yeah, I am a partner at Tegos. I'm responsible at Tegos for banking and finance practice. So I joined the law firm 7 years ago. Before it was Main Street banking, as we may say. Yeah? So I started my journey in the banking in 1997. At that time in Lithuania we had a state-owned agricultural bank, which was later privatized by Nord-LB, German bank. Later Nord-LB had a venture with DNB. The bank was transformed to DNB Nord.
So into Luminor.
Yeah, and later on to the Luminor. And from Luminor, 7 years ago, I joined Tegos.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've been in banking also, I mean, your educational background is in?
No, I am a lawyer.
You're a lawyer.
Yeah,
so.
lawyer, plus I have history degree, so history is more for my kind of hobby, and law for my, yeah.
So you were at that point when all the strong AML things came into power and everything, so you remember that time?
Absolutely. You know, when I started in my previous bank, as a lawyer, so such kind as AML or money laundering prevention was not a hot topic.
Yeah.
Actually, AML department and compliance was in the basement, literally. Now we are on the top floor, sitting near the CEO. So I remember initially, literally in the basement, it was not more for AML purposes, but the concentration was more for internal fraud prevention.
Yes,
internal fraud, security, internal fraud prevention, not so many external frauds or external money laundering matters. But later on, it was more and more relevant, and especially after Danske scandal, it was.
It's a lot of fun.
A lot of fun.
A lot of fun. Tegos, what makes you different from all the other Baltic firms that are pretty much also involved in fintech?
Yeah, absolutely. So you know, all the law firms plays and have their own role in this particular field. And we in Tegos as well, we serve a lot of fintech clients, especially in Lithuania, which is probably leading country here in terms of fintechs. So we have quite a lot of clients in Lithuania and now establishing good practice here in Latvia as well. And that's why we have our stand here in this beautiful conference, and would like to establish our footprint also in Latvia, as well as in Estonia. Yeah, and what makes us different, so most our staff has background either in banking or in central bank or in payment businesses, or some kind of background in industry before joining the law firm.
In terms of speed, you can move together with fintechs, so you're that fast.
So that's the demand from the customers.
Yeah, of course.
So it's not about us, it's about customers.
Always.
So you always follow the customers.
Yeah. We see that we have a growing interest from like such large companies, financial companies like Lloyd Banking,
yes,
Financial Group, now a recent news. What you would say, maybe 3 things that should we all keep in mind to keep the pace going in Lithuania, for example? Let's talk Lithuania now for a moment.
So first of all, I would say it should be some predictable legal environment, rule of law, predictable legal environment for companies to come.
You are saying now that it is still not completely grounded, or with the new government it has changed? Or?
I would say we have quite huge fluctuations.
Right.
7 or 5 years ago it was, open doors for all the fintechs. Maybe 5 years ago the policy has been changed and it was more kind of conservative approach. And actually now the trend, at least in Lithuania, the policy is to have not so much in numbers fintech players, but more mature marketplace. Probably it's natural development. Initially, you start, with small market newcomers, with small firms. During the time, we build a business, and when the demand comes to make them more mature, more compliant-oriented, more risk management-oriented. So that's the natural.
So the legal framework and everything in that particular sense as well needs to be more stable.
Yeah, it should be stable, and attitude of the regulator should be more, I would say, predictable.
All right, that's a good point.
Yeah. The second, I would say, is infrastructure. Yeah. Fintechs are coming not only for good legal environment, but also we need certain infrastructure. Also, for example, payment infrastructure should be in place. And I think that one of the reasons why fintechs came to Lithuania is not only for the fact that it was easy to get the license, but also, for example, Bank of Lithuania opened the opportunity for them to access Centralink, which is payment infrastructure in Lithuania, and possibility for fintechs to open actually account directly with central bank and make payments directly in SEPA area without having intermediaries as Main Street banks.
Does it also include tax environment?
Tax as well, yeah, for sure. I can make an example. So recently we had a banking conference where CEO of Swedbank was...
The Baltic CEO?
Yeah, not Baltic.
The Swede, the group.
The group CEO
All right, okay.
was made a speech, and he specifically mentioned that, let's say, so we had a situation when a few years ago, it was specific tax introduced specifically for banks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it was surprise, solidarity tax.
Yeah.
Probably Latvia.
Yeah, the same. It was, yeah.
And he said, at that time he was arranging the trip of Swedish entrepreneurs to Lithuania, and he had to cancel the trip due to such shaky environment. So the tax environment also matters a lot, Mm-hmm. We always go with certain mistakes, not learning from each other. As an example, in Estonia, government a few years ago made a mistake when they opened the gates for the investors to take out second pillar pension funds. Now in Lithuania we have similar stories. So I think we should be more consistent, more predictable, and then, business will come.
What about talent pool? Because I have talked to Invest Lithuania and some other companies, also your local foreign investors council. They have mentioned this as the capital, workers' capital. So it's,
yes, for sure, it is always an issue to find talents, But I believe for fintechs which can onboard employees remotely, it should not be a big problem. For example, we had one client who has half employees working in Lithuania, half from Riga. Mm-hmm. We have fintechs who has their main employee pool in Poland.
So they are not creating this salary inflation, as we say it, or something like that?
I would say fintechs create very high remunerated jobs. Uh-huh. And our fintech association calculated that this industry creates the most kind of value for among other industries. So through remuneration of employees. So I think it brings good jobs to the country. Talents are always a problem, and in all industries, if you ask what is the main requirement now, it's talent. Mm. But I believe for fintechs, it's not so huge problem as for manufacturing, where people should be in the country or in specific location. Fintechs could outsource people from the Baltics.
From everywhere.
Yeah, from the Baltics.
Tegos is working in Baltics. Now, how do you see this? Are we competing as countries for talents, for resources, for maybe large names out there in terms of MiCA license, but also, or are we cooperating? How you see this?
So, to my view, we can see each other as competitors, but to my view, if whatever country, Latvia, Lithuania or Estonia wins, the Baltics wins, because investors looks at our region, from my experience, as one region.
Yeah.
We are coming to the Baltics, and for them it is not so relevant. It's Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia.
But
So
we're kind of still selling our own countries. I heard today from our Latvian Minister of Economics that he said we need to think as Baltic region.
Yeah,
as
so-
Baltic. In the next sentence, he said Latvia is very hungry for fintechs, and so it's not going together.
yeah, so probably there are certain competition between the countries, but I would say we would benefit more if we would think about ourselves as a region, because
6 million market.
yeah, because for investors, 2 million or 3 million, it's not so interesting. And investors, from my experience, when I talk to newcomers who are coming to our region, they are looking at just Baltics.
Yeah.
And I believe we would win more if we would cooperate. Competition always, as in the family, you have
Yeah.
sometimes competition between brothers.
Brothers, yeah, brothers compete as well.
But if your brother wins some race, so you also
Celebrate.
happy. Yeah? So it's
Yeah,
the same.
of course. How do you see now the MiCA license process in Lithuania and all that
Yeah.
thing? We know that there are few licenses. Something is in the pipelines, but how do you see this process?
Yeah, it is sad. Actually, expectations was very high.
High. Yeah.
Very high. And actually now, at least in our law firm, we are more assisting clients who are exiting the market due to the fact that we were not able to get the license when with customers who are applying for new licenses. And this is unfortunate, because I believe we had opportunity to onboard quite a big names. So for example, one of the big exchange, let's say 2 or 3 years ago, they paid in taxes 31 something mil in taxes. Yeah. Now we are on the exiting mode. They paid last year or beginning of this 200 euros, 300 euros. So we lost a lot in the tax-wise, also job-wise. So I think we had opportunity and we did not use, because the risk appetite was not was more on conservative side.
But are you saying that this race is now over, or we have a place for new options if we change our mindset very quickly?
I can comment from Lithuania perspective.
Of course.
I know Latvia is more hungry, as you said. Probably Latvia is more open for newcomers. Lithuania, as I said, we are looking for more mature marketplace, so they could roll out easily red carpet for big names. But I'm not so sure if Lithuania is ready to onboard small or medium players, which creates a lot of also value for the country.
But it can also be a strategy. Why not?
Yeah, I believe it is, because let's say if during previous year you onboarded more than 100 fintechs, now probably you can say I am already sufficient, and I am now looking at big names.
Yeah.
So it could be a strategy. For Latvia, probably it's too early to say that. So probably you should first of all build certain environment, and then you can be more selective. Now Lithuania could afford that. And what we are seeing now in the market, more mergers and acquisitions than new license applications.
So you have new work to do in new areas.
Yeah, but as you said, Lloyd came and bought Curve Europe in order to get a footprint in Europe. Zilch, UK fintech, came and now in the process of buying Fjord Bank, specialized bank, which were licensed, whatever.
But also traditional banks that are coming and also seeking opportunities in the
region. I believe Commerce Bank established representative office, some Polish banks. I would say Polish is a very interesting market as well.
Of course.
Because we are huge. We are a huge market, and some market players could come from them.
Yeah. Žygimantas, it was a pleasure to talk to you and to meet you.
Thank you
very much for the conversation.